there is footage of Caleb Flynn on American Idol in 2013 talking about his wife. He says he loves her more than anything. He is beaming, charming, completely at ease. 13 years later, he called 911 to report that she had been shot twice in the head while she slept, that someone had broken into their home in Tipp City, Ohio, that she was gone. Officers arrived within 4 minutes, and from the moment they stepped inside that house, the story Caleb had given them began to fall apart. It took 82 hours to put him in handcuffs. Ashley Elizabeth Flynn was 37 years old, a teacher, a volleyball coach, a mother of 2. She had grown up in Ohio, rooted in faith from an early age, the kind of faith that showed up not in words, but in how she treated people. She studied at Lee University in Tennessee, returned to Ohio in 2010, and spent the years that followed doing what she was clearly built to do, pouring herself into children. At the time of her death, she was teaching at LifeWise Academy, substituting at Tipp City schools, and coaching 7th grade girls volleyball at Tippecanoe Middle School. Superintendent Aaron Moran said she was known for her warm smile, her welcoming spirit, and her genuine care for others. A former student said she had been the teacher who actually got them to like school. Neighbor Sally Shank said simply, "She was full of light." She and her husband Caleb had 2 young daughters and had lived for several years on Cunningham Court, a quiet cul-de-sac where the girls delivered homemade cookies to neighbors every Christmas, and the family were, by all appearances, exactly what they seemed: settled, happy, full of life. Ashley's 38th birthday was the 24th of February. She was 8 days away from it. She never got there. The 16th of February, 2026, the early hours of the morning. Tipp City was asleep. At 2:31 a.m., Caleb Flynn dialed 911. The call lasted nearly 8 minutes and would later be released in full by the Miami County Prosecutor's Office. His voice on that recording was broken. He was crying, gasping, barely able to form sentences.
Oh my God.
Miami County, 911.
Oh my, somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know.
Okay, what's the address?
Please hurry. Please hurry.
Okay. What are you seeing?
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God. Sir, please.
Ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath, okay? Do you still see anybody in the house?
No, the door to the garage was wide open. Please hurry, please. Oh my God. My daughters are here. My daughters are here.
Where's she at?
She's in the bed.
Are you with her?
I am in the room. I'm looking at her. Yes, please.
Okay. Do you guys have the door locked?
We have the doors to the garage locked, but into the house, yes. Please. Oh my God.
Where are you guys at in the house?
I'm in the bedroom with her right now.
Okay.
My daughters are in their room.
So you are not with the children?
I was with the children when it happened.
Okay, but you're not with them now?
No, they're in their room. They're not even awake in their room.
Okay. Are you hearing any kind of noise inside the house?
No, her face is, her face is white as good ghost. Please hurry.
Okay, whose face?
My wife's face.
Your wife's face?
The one who was shot.
She was what?
Shot, I said.
Okay, where was she shot at?
In the head. I hope there's blood everywhere.
Okay, is she breathing?
I don't think so. Ashley, baby, please. Oh my God, she's not.
Officers from Tipp City Police arrived within approximately 4 minutes. Bodycam footage captured what happened next, and it would later be released to the public. It showed Caleb sobbing, hyperventilating, vomiting into a rubbish bin. He stumbled when he was guided outside and had to be helped to his feet. He asked officers over and over again whether his wife was gone. The officer's first radio transmission back to dispatch told the story plainly enough. A homicide. A woman with a gunshot wound to the head. In her bed. shell casings on the floor. Husband present, children present. 2 9mm shell casings had been found on the bedroom floor near the foot of the bed. Ashley's mother arrived in the early hours to collect the 2 daughters. The girls were still asleep. Caleb met her on the driveway, and the 2 of them held each other. Then, voluntarily, Caleb agreed to go to the police station to give a full statement. He was fingerprinted and DNA swabbed and was told that the samples were to eliminate or confirm him against material collected at the scene. He asked whether Ashley had been moved to a funeral home. He was told she was still there. He was released and went home. By 5:54 that morning, Police Chief Greg Adkins had issued the first press release. A woman had been killed. Her name was Ashley Flynn. By midday, Pastor Jordan Hansen of Christian Life Center had posted to Facebook, "A beloved member of our church, devoted servant of Jesus and wife, mom, daughter, was murdered in her home. Ashley Flynn is with Jesus." The community was stunned. Tipp City had never seen anything like this. 13 agencies descended on the case. The FBI, the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the Miami County Sheriff's Office and Prosecutor's Office, multiple neighboring police departments. Every resource available was brought to bear on the investigation, which Chief Adkins later defended as thorough and deliberate, moving not fast, but at a pace dictated by the evidence. On the 17th of February, the autopsy was completed by Miami County Coroner Dr. William Ginn. He declined to release the findings at the direction of the prosecutor. On the 18th, officers were seen returning to the Flynn home on Cunningham Court, moving in and out through the side garage door and the front entrance. An interior door was removed from the property and placed in a police pickup truck as evidence. A backhoe was brought in to lift a garden shed in the backyard so that investigators could examine what lay underneath. Police maintained a round-the-clock presence at the house. On the evening of the 19th, the department issued a statement confirming that investigators believed this was an isolated incident targeted at the specific residence. There was no ongoing threat to the wider community. But behind that careful public language, something had become very clear to the people working that case. The supposed point of entry was the side door of the garage, a door on the north side of the house that was found standing open. According to Caleb's account, an intruder had come through that door. Officers examined it closely. What they found stopped the investigation in its tracks. A large refrigerator was positioned directly in front of the door. For any person approaching from outside, from the direction an intruder would have come, that door opened inward. The refrigerator would have blocked it completely. The door could only have been opened by someone standing on the inside of the house, physically moving that refrigerator out of the way first. This was not an entry point. This was an exit route that had been arranged to look like one. There was more. Inside the garage sat the family's 2024 Ford pickup truck. Its center console was open. Caleb had told officers that was exactly where he kept his handgun. A 9mm firearm. The shell casings found on the bedroom floor matched a 9mm weapon. Outside, K9 units had swept the area. A drone had canvassed the surrounding streets, and a neighbour's property featured a network of 20 security cameras covering every angle of the cul-de-sac. All of it had captured the same thing. Nothing. No intruder. No footprints. No movement. No sign of any person entering or leaving the Flynn home from outside that night. The family's own dogs had raised no alarm. When investigators filed criminal complaints, they stated it plainly. Officers had been led astray by the staging of the crime scene. This was not a home invasion. Someone inside that house had made it look like one. On the evening of the 19th of February, 82 hours after Ashley was found shot in her bed, Caleb Flynn was arrested. Officers approached him at the police station. He was accompanied by another man, who immediately said, "On what evidence?" and "There's no evidence." Caleb was handcuffed. He asked the detective what had changed. The detective answered, "Evidence evolves." He was booked into Miami County Jail at 5:07 that afternoon. Caleb Carl Flynn was 39 years old. He had grown up in Braham, Minnesota, in a deeply religious household. His father, Pastor Mike Flynn, leads an Open Arms Church of God congregation in nearby Graston. Caleb was a standout student athlete. He was a member of the Braham basketball team that won 3 consecutive Minnesota Class 2A state championships between 2004 and 2006. He was first-team All-Conference in football. He was the kind of young man who people noticed. After graduating from Braham Area High School in 2005, he briefly attended Northwestern University in St. Paul before transferring to Lee University in Cleveland, Tennessee, the same Christian institution where he would meet Ashley. He studied pastoral and music ministry, and the stage came naturally to him. He had a strong voice, a compelling presence, and an easy confidence that served him well. After graduating, he and Ashley returned to Ohio together. He spent 5 years as worship arts pastor at Living Word Church in Vandalia, a congregation of approximately 1,500, before moving the family south to Spartanburg, South Carolina, where he served as worship director at Free Chapel. They eventually made their way back to Ohio, settling in Tipp City, and Caleb joined Christian Life Center as a worship pastor. Both he and Ashley were staff members there. They were, as far as the congregation knew, a model family. In 2013, Caleb auditioned for season 12 of American Idol. He appeared in Chicago, performing Bill Withers' Lean on Me, and received a golden ticket to Hollywood. On camera, the man was impossible to dislike. He talked about his faith and about Ashley with a warmth that felt entirely genuine. He said he loved his wife more than anything, that she was very, very pretty. He didn't advance past the first round in Hollywood and never reached the live broadcasts, but the footage existed, and when his wife was found dead in February 2026, it circulated widely. By the time of Ashley's murder, Caleb was no longer in ministry. He had transitioned into the business world, most recently serving as Vice President of Sales at Richard D. Smith & Sons, Inc., a company owned and operated by Ashley's family. His livelihood, in other words, ran directly through his wife's family. His defense attorney, L. Patrick Mulligan, described the arrest in a public statement as a seeming rush to judgment and cautioned against the tendency to fix suspicion on a surviving spouse without sufficient evidence. Caleb entered a plea of not guilty on all initial charges. He had no prior criminal record. His defense team acknowledged it was his first time facing criminal proceedings. On the 18th of March, 2026, a Miami County grand jury returned its verdict on the evidence. They handed down an 11-count indictment against Caleb Flynn, and what it contained went significantly further than anything that had come before. The lead charge was no longer simply murder, it was aggravated murder, with prior calculation and design. This was the prosecution placing on the record its position that what happened to Ashley Flynn was not a moment of rage. It was premeditated, planned, intended. Alongside the aggravated murder charge came 3 further counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, each carrying a firearm specification, and 3 counts of tampering with evidence, alleging that Caleb had altered, destroyed, concealed, or removed physical evidence with the deliberate purpose of impairing its value to investigators. And then there were 2 charges that told a story all of their own. 2 misdemeanor counts of intimidating a witness, both alleged to have taken place between the 16th of February, the day Ashley died, and the 19th, the day Caleb was arrested. In the 72 hours he remained free, while appearing to grieve, while fielding calls from family, while cooperating with police. Prosecutors alleged that Caleb Flynn had reached out to someone who knew something about what had happened, and had tried to manage what they would say. The identity of that witness has never been made public. Separately, Ashley's family moved to protect her daughters. Guardians of the children filed civil motions seeking access to all family financial records, bank accounts, retirement funds, property, and specifically sought information on a life insurance policy that named Caleb as primary beneficiary. The filing stated that Caleb had the motive, the opportunity, and the means to move those assets out of reach of the children and the estate. The judge granted the motions. Under Ohio's Slayer statute, if convicted of killing Ashley, Caleb cannot receive a single penny of those proceeds. Then came a detail that the community found difficult to sit with. Shortly after Caleb's arrest, a 23-year-old worship leader at Christian Life Center named Alaka Botner submitted her resignation. Pastor Hansen announced it to the congregation, telling them she had left without explanation. That portion of the service was later removed from the church's uploaded recording, though not before it had been captured and shared across social media. Photographs showed her and Caleb performing together on the church stage. No formal connection between her resignation and the case has been confirmed by authorities. But the questions the community were left asking were not small ones. What the phone records show, what the laboratory results confirm, what Ashley's autopsy determined, what the full forensic picture looks like. None of it has been publicly released. All of it will come at trial. Businesses rallied. Red Devil Pizza and Deli donated 10% of weekend sales and raised over $4,000. Tony's Bay de Bing donated 30% of its takings across 3 days, with granite transformations matching the amount. Together, raising over $12,000. Kid Clubhouse, a local indoor playground, saw 351 children come through its doors in a single day as families from across the country purchased gift cards in Ashley's name, raising over $37,000 in 24 hours. Live Like Ashley t-shirts were printed and sold across the region. A GoFundMe organised by John Crawford, the husband of Ashley's closest friend, raised over $175,000 from approximately 1,400 donors, all directed to the care of Ashley's 2 daughters. Her obituary at Frings and Bailiff Funeral Home received over 85,000 visits. On the 25th of February, what would have been Ashley's 38th birthday, her family released a statement. They had gathered, they said, with broken hearts, but with the determination to celebrate her life exactly as she would have wanted. Her girls blew out candles on chocolate cupcakes, her favourite. Neighbours came to the house to sing happy birthday. Balloons carrying handwritten messages drifted up into the sky. "We miss her in ways words can't capture," the statement read, but we hold tightly to this. Ashley's life was always about pointing people to Jesus and showing them his love, and her legacy will live on, in her daughters, in her parents, in her sister, and in the many lives she touched and influenced along the way. After the arrest, the family released a second statement. They said they trusted the process. They said the arrest had been made carefully and with serious consideration, and they spoke with quiet directness about the man who had been charged with ending their daughter's life. His local ties, they noted, existed only through Ashley's family, and those people, they said, were not supportive of his release. At his arraignment on the grand jury indictment in March 2026, Caleb Flynn was led into Miami County Common Pleas Court with his hands and feet shackled. Approximately a dozen of Ashley's family members were seated directly behind the prosecution. When Judge Stacey Wall read the 11 counts aloud, Caleb entered a plea of not guilty to every one. His defense attorney argued for a reasonable bond, citing Caleb's clean record and describing him as a man facing criminal proceedings for the first time in his life. Prosecutor Paul Watkins disagreed. He told the court that any local ties Caleb possessed ran through the victim's family, and the victim's family, he said, was not supportive of Caleb being released into the community. Bond was set at $3.5 million cash only. Caleb remained in custody. He was barred from any contact with his daughters. If convicted on all counts, he faces life in prison without the possibility of parole. On the 30th of March, Judge Jeanine N. Pratt set the trial date, the 28th of April, 2026, 2 weeks in Troy, Ohio. On the 6th of March, 3 weeks after Ashley's death, her sister posted a statement to Facebook. It was addressed to everyone who had shown up for the family. It spoke of meals delivered and laundry done and a home renovated to make room for 6 people where there had been 4. It spoke of the 2 girls, now being raised by their aunt and uncle alongside their own children, and it ended with something that said everything about the family Ashley had come from. The past several nights before bed, the 6 of us high-fived one another saying, "We made it through another day, and with God's help, we will make it through the next one too. Together." Ashley Elizabeth Flynn, born 24th February 1988. Taken on the 16th of February 2026, 8 days before her 38th birthday. Please do not forget her.